So I've just, so far the only thing we've done, just to recap for the training or for recording purposes, is we are creating a new article. This is what we're going to link up to create menu items, to create that main menu or any of the other menus that we have listed within our site. And we're going to be reviewing this here shortly. And so far we've just begun creating a new article by selecting the new button in the top right-hand corner from the article manager page. Then at that point we would create the title. The alias would self-populate with whatever information, or basically the same word that we put in the title. This is just going to create the URL, what would come after the / from cpi.memberclicks.net / in this case it would be about. So that'd be the website. And then I'm just in our WYSIWYG editor, which stands for What You See Is What You Get. It's a really simple editor to use, and we've used our formatted fonts, which is important because those will automatically update with colors if you ever choose to change those colors. Our designers can update that for you. And then I've inserted an image by coming to the bottom of my editor, selecting Image. I just chose your logo from your site category because I knew that it was in here. I selected that and I inserted that image. Okay, from here, I want to change a couple things, so I can resize my image using these corners, but I can also choose my tree icon up here. Selecting the tree icon will bring up kind of like a way for us to customize our image. So we can go to Appearance, and then we have this little example of the way it'll look in the right-hand box. We can change the alignment. This has to do with how the text aligns around the image. You'll see how that updates over here. You can also do right. We can change the dimensions of our image. So if you know dimensions, you can throw them in here. We always want to make sure we constrain proportions. Otherwise, if we uncheck this box, our image is going to look all wonky. We're going to lose the proportions. Vertical and horizontal space have to do with the space cushion between the image and text. So that'll include this here. And we'll save and update. So now I've kind of got my image way over here, but the text could back up to the image if we wanted it to. I just am going to change this appearance so it looks a little bit more normal back to left. And there's that space cushion between our image and text. Our image is a little bit smaller, and our text starts at the top of the page. A couple other things that I'd love to point out would be adding external links and internal links. So to add an external link, we would highlight the text that we would want to link up, come to the top of our page, and choose that link. From here, we could add in any external link that we would want to, and then we could insert. For internal links, we actually would highlight the text we want to link up, but come to the bottom of the page to Site Links. Do you guys see that Site Links button?
Yep.
Okay. Move it up a little. Well, I can't. So choosing that Site Links will bring up our Media Manager again, and from here we can link to anything within the site, such as other articles, community features, menu items, any forms in our system, files, events. Right now I'm just going to link to our event count and insert. Now, one of my favorite things that we can do is anytime you've linked up text, whether it's internal or external, we can come back to our formatted fonts, choose heading 6, and this is going to create a button. I love this. So that's heading 6 from our formatted fonts. We also have an HTML. It's always heading 6. Yeah, great question.
Is it always heading 6? Or are we just to know that heading 6 creates the button?
Yes. It's always heading 6.
So what are the other headings? I mean, I know heading 1, but...
Yeah, so for just general, that's a great question as well. It's just going to, or I shouldn't say it just depends, but I'll show you.
What are headings?
I don't have anything that I can provide to you that'll tell you what the different headings do, but I can show you.
Okay.
So paragraph, and you can keep this example. Paragraph would be just normal text, address. Then we have pre-formatted. We know what heading 1 looks like, but then we have heading, well, I'll just go ahead and add it in here, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, and heading 6. So we've got 1. That's not what I wanted it to do. Stop doing that. I'm sorry, bear with me. I'm trying to get it to not apply to all. I don't know why I can't get it to do that. Heading 6 is not going to do anything unless you've got it linked up. It's doing it to all of them. Why? Let's try this. Well, I'll see if I can find a cheat sheet. I don't know why I'm not able to. I haven't had this issue in the past where it just wants to do all of it. I'll look and see if I have a cheat sheet, but we can look and see what paragraph, address, and formatted. Heading 1 is just going to be this one here. I think it doesn't want it for whatever reason. I can do heading 2. Heading 2 is going to look exactly the way it appears here, which is just going to be smaller as far as size, but it will be the same color. So that kind of shows us what heading 2 is. Heading 3, you can do it. Heading 4, it's just going to be a little bit smaller each time. I think they're just going to look just the way we have them here. We'll look at it on the front end though, and then I'll try to see if I can't. Something I'm doing wrong. There's something going on that I'm not doing correctly, but we'll look at it again. But to kind of keep moving, at this point we've created our article. So what I did there was I set the group access. So group access is like the same as our member types, but it settles or it determines permissions in the system. And so from here, you could decide if you want this to be for only members or if you would like for it to be members and public and prospect just by checking or unchecking these. So I can save. At this point, we're ready to link this up to our menu item. So we would go under Website and Menu Items. And we would choose which menu item we want to make edits to. So we have the main menu, social network menu, member menu, and quick links. So working in our site, this is our main menu up at the top. This is our quick links menu. Down at the bottom is our social media menu, or social networking menu. And then on the member landing page, this is our member landing, our member menu. So we can make edits to this as well. Right now I want to make edits to the main menu, so I'm selecting main menu. And I would just use the same icons up here. You'll notice they're the exact same for our article manager as they are for the menu. So I'm going to select new. I'm calling this article, or I'm creating an article right now, so I would want to look under my article content. However, we can create menu items through a couple of different ways. So we can also add external links. A separator is just basically something that can hold sub-menus or tertiary menus, but you can't click that actual menu item. We have different forms that we can link to. You guys probably are not going to have any polls, but we can do we can set up a community forum we can link to, any of these community items, and then database. The only thing that you're probably going to use, though, is the single article and then maybe some community and then forums. So right now I'm selecting.
We'll use what we call surveys, so polls and surveys.
I don't know if that's how they hold them or not.
We definitely need a survey tool.
Okay, so for polls.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, awesome. Okay.
I mean, we ask multiple questions and.
We created those as forms. Is that where forms would be?
Oh. Is that where, well, do you want to?
Well, is that where forms, we created our surveys as a form. So is that where forms go, or is it something different?
Yeah, that would just be a form underneath the form.
We need it to be compiled. We need the answers, the results to compile. Will it compile under forms, or does it need something else?
We can use the forms for that, but polls may be the better option. Let me look further into that. That's more of a social community item. So when we get to our social community training, we can absolutely make sure we cover polls in that. Okay?
Okay.
So right now I'm using a single article, and then I need to create the title of my article. So in this case, my article is called About, so I'm just calling it About. The alias, once again, is created. If we decided to change where we're placing this as far as a menu item, we could choose a different menu item. And then we would decide if we want this to show up at the top, so it would be next to the home main or home menu item, or if we want it to be a sub menu item, we would just highlight whatever we want it to be a sub menu item of. So we could highlight home and it would be a sub menu item of home. In this case, I want it to show up at the top next to home. We can choose whether we want this to open up in the same browser or a new browser. The only time I have my items open up in new browsers is if it is like a form or an external link. Then kind of working our way back to the bottom of the right-hand area, we would need to select our article. So we would select the article. The most recent article created will always be the first to show up at the top, so I'm going to select About. And then from here, once again, we're going to select that group access. So who can see this? And we would save. Okay. Now if we go back to the front end and we refresh our page, you'll notice that our home menu will now have that About menu next to it. We can click on that About menu and it links to that article that we created. So you'll notice the way that they look in that editor is exactly how they look on the front end as well. Except for heading 6, that's the special one that will create the button, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of them, the way they look is exactly how they'll look on the front end.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our external links, which I linked up to your site. And we have the internal link, which I linked up to the community calendar. Okay. You guys have any questions on how I created that article and linked it up to the menu?
No. Mm-mm.
Wonderful. So then the next item that we want to look at is our Media Manager. So the Media Manager is still under Website and Media Manager. From here, we can add documents or images into different folders. You can create your own folders to kind of organize your stuff into. To upload like a new image, we would just select what folder we want that image to populate into. We would select Upload, this button down here at the bottom, and then we could just pull in whatever image that is from our site. Same thing with documents. So uploading things into our Media Manager is really easy, and the second that you've uploaded it into here, that means that you can access this information anywhere you have the image or site links button listed throughout your site. Okay, do you guys have any questions on our Media Manager?
No?
Okay, great. That's kind of an easy one. Now we have widgets. So we're still under the website tab and we're looking at our widgets. Widgets are a little bit different. We use widgets on the front end specifically. Let me go back to the front end because that's what allows our site to be responsive. So if somebody's looking at the site on a cell phone or a smaller screen, notice how all of these items are stacking on one another. This is allowing us to still have full use of this site.
Mm-hmm.
And so we edit these items a little bit differently because they're not articles. So once again, I'm under Website and Widgets. To point out what each of these widgets are, we have the member landing My Name Is. So you'll notice on the member landing page we have this cool name tag that's going to greet your members with their personal information from their profile. We can do that just by going into the widget Member Landing My Name Is. And at this point we can make edits to what information data merges by highlighting the information. We could delete that, and we could use our data merge tool down here at the bottom to select a different field of information we want to populate onto that name tag from their profile. So any of those fields. Okay. Then we have your slider images. So those are those images that are sliding right across your screen. If we wanted to add an additional image, all you would have to do is come down to the next row, go into, you would have already saved that image. In your Media Manager, you can go into your image folder, and you would just select an additional item that you would add in. If you ever don't remember what size these slider images need to be, you can always come into the Media Manager and you'll see that these are labeled 980 by 245. Those are the dimensions of the image.
Mm-hmm.
We would just select the image, insert the image, and now this image would be a part of that slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we would close. Now we have homepage main left and right. The homepage main, homepage left, and homepage right is this homepage main here. Then we have homepage left. And then lastly, we have homepage right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The footer information is going to be at the very bottom down here. So if you ever need to update your physical address or your phone number, that's where you would do that in the footer info widget.
But we can add other icons there, such as our national organization's icon, and how do we add things there?
Yeah, absolutely. So if we would like to add, what area would you like to add that information into?
Well, our current website has it in that footer. I'm not sure what you meant, meaning what area within the footer?
I see it. I'm looking at your site. So I'm actually working with another association that has like an internet or like a national. That's
Mm-hmm.
not it. That is not it. I think BOMA, OKC. Just to kind of show you what we did for them. I think that they've got it. So we did theirs right here in this area. Would this work for you?
Meaning that one there?
Right.
Hmm.
And then it links back to their national site.
So you're saying that it can't be in the actual footer? I mean, I don't think it shows up as well for BOMA as it shows up on ours. But we cannot add other things?
I don't know for a fact that we can't, you guys wouldn't be able to do that. I'd have to have, unless, I mean, what I'm thinking that you could do is in the footer information, you could add an image in here. Let's see what that would look like. I haven't had anybody
Link
mess
there?
with this. Sir?
Is that right?
Can we put a site link there with an icon?
Absolutely. Yeah,
But not,
but not.
but not an image?
Yeah.
Let's see what it looks like.
Okay. And so
So
could
we
it be,
could,
okay, I mean, could it be that if we use, instead of our own image there, of course, put
right.
national icon and that when they click it, it connects to their website?
Yeah, absolutely. Do I already have your national icon?
No, no.
If you could, I mean, if you guys would like to try, you can definitely just, this is our WYSIWYG editor, so you could just add it in just like I did using that image. This would be a great kind of like test your knowledge kind of task. And you could just place the image in using that image. Now, if you want to link it up, you would just highlight it, use that external link just like I showed you before, and then put in the URL that you'd want it to link to.
Okay.
So I would, if you want to, you can send it to me, or if you guys want to try it out, you might even be able to put it, over here. Like if you want to, then we could, at that point, we could, what if we used our appearance and we did right update? What would that look like? I'm kind of just playing around.
Sure.
But then we could add that cushion as well. Sir?
It looks like it's doable.
Yeah, except
Yeah,
sometimes they don't
it
move
does.
around.
It does look like it's doable. This it looks like though it's as far right, unless we came back in here and once again we could use that appearance, and we could do maybe 20. Update, apply. So just kind of by playing around in here and seeing if you can get it to the way you like it. Awesome. So that looks pretty darn good.
It's getting better.
Yeah. And you guys can definitely keep, playing with that and see if you can find it. And if you just can't find a place that you like it, then we can, you can let my designers know, and I'm sure they could do something a little bit more custom for you. But on our end, this would be
Okay.
kind of the extent of what we could do. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll leave that in here, but just know that you can replace that with that national after you save it in your media manager, just by going to that image button and then picking it from the media manager that'll pop up.
Okay.
All right. Next, we have custom login page content lower half, custom login page content top half, and announcements. Announcements will be that widget right here. They used event examples, which is a poor example. This would just be more so just any announcements you have for your members. Your events will actually show up in your upcoming events area, which we'll get to when I show you guys how to use the calendar. But this would just house your event or announcements, so this would be a great place you may want to update a good bit. And then the custom login page content top half and lower half would be if your members are new to the site, they want to log in, they get ready to log in. It would be any information that you would want to add above the login section or below the login section, but most people just leave this plain as is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so that's everything for our widgets. Do you guys have any questions on any of these widgets?
No.
Okay. The only other thing that I would like to review today is looking at our calendar. Do you guys have an upcoming event that we could go ahead and add in on our calendar?
We do on March, whatever.
Okay, so if I can go to my calendar, which is right under community. I'm going to work a little bit backwards. So this manage locations can house locations. They are not linked to your events. They're just locations you can link up to your events. So right now, do you have a location for that event that we can add?
CPI, just here.
So I'm going to select new, and it would be the place is CPI. I have your
3001 Highland Avenue.
You said 3001?
Yes. Highland
Avenue. Okay.
in Cincinnati.
Oh gosh, don't laugh at me.
CINN I'll try again. CINNATI.
Thank you.
Ohio. And our zip code is 45219.
Okay.
581. 513961. 8886.
Awesome. Okay. And then we can add your website if we want to, although we're already in your website, so we don't need to. At that point, we would want to find address. If you don't select this find address button, it's going to keep you right where we're located. So I'm going to find address. Now we're in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you'll add information, once again, your WYSIWYG editor, and it's where you can add information about the event, about the location, not the event.
No.
Once again, you have your site links that you can use, your external links that you can use in those formatted fonts. From here, we're going to save. Now we can...
Does it give the option for people to find directions, like a Google map or whatever?
It does, and I'll show you how it'll appear on the front end.
Okay.
We can add I think that I answered your question. We'll look at it. We would add our category, so we could select new. This is going to color code our calendar for us. So what would you kind of consider this? What category?
Category of color?
Workshops.
Workshops.
Perfect. And then we could choose the color that we would want to use for this. And we could use your burgundy maybe.
Sure.
That's not quite it, but you can edit that and then save. Now we're ready to actually create the event. Now we need to publish this, so we're just going to double click on this red unpublished, and that's what will publish it. And now we're going to manage the event. So we're going to come over here and actually create a new event. So what would you call this event?
The Dion Powell lecture. DIOONNE POWELL.
Okay. We would choose our category, workshops.
Yeah.
When does this start? You said March?
March, it's March, I think 12 and 13, but I don't know. I'd have to look at the calendar.
That's fine.
It's March 10, I think.
Yeah, March 10 and 11.
Okay.
Do that.
And what time does it begin?
6 o'clock
In the morning or afternoon?
p.m.
Okay. And it ends?
8 o'clock.
PM?
Yes. No. Does it?
Oh, no,
On
a.m.
Saturday?
Oh, they're both p.m.
Okay.
So are we, I don't know where we are.
And it's at 8 p.m. on Saturday.
We'll manage this, but yeah, you're giving us a sense of, okay,
We would do this as numerous events,
right.
but for now, we'll just.
We could put in our permissions, so if you want this only viewable by your members, then we could just select your members. If not, can just, you can add prospect and public. You can
Got
make
it.
this repeating if you'd like, and then you can add a description. This would be a description about the event. Once again, you have your WYSIWYG editor. And then the last thing we want to do is select a location, which would be what we added in here.
Okay.
And then we would save.
All right.
So now we can go back to the front end of our site. We can view our full calendar, and if this is probably going to kick me out. Yeah, because I logged out. So let me get back in here. Okay. And then from here, we could actually look at the front end of the site, and you'll notice it's going to pull in those upcoming dates. Bulan Powell lecture, so we have each of those here. We can view the full calendar. And we would, of course, you see the different colors,
Okay.
and then we would want to kind of fast forward through our months to March. February and March. Now you'll notice that we have these on our calendar. If you hover over it, it shows you kind of in detail, and then we can click into, and it'll give you all the information about where it's located, the dates, the description about the event. Now this is the map that we can use, and we can click into the Google Maps, and I think it'll list so you can send them to your phone. All of the things that you can use in Google Maps you can use straight from here, but just clicking into that window will bring you right into here. Is that kind of what you were asking?
Yes.
Okay, great. And that's everything. Do you guys have any questions on these maps? I mean, I'm sorry, on the maps, on the event calendar.
No, we're doing okay.
All right, awesome. Well, that is everything I've got today. Do we already have our next training on the calendar?
We do not.
Is that something we could go ahead and schedule today?
I'm thinking of next week as being an odd week because of Thanksgiving. So I'm looking to see what dates. I mean, we have Thursday and Friday off. So so is Tuesday, next Tuesday, an option or not an option?
It's not good for me.
Okay.
I have a number of things I need to do.
Okay.
on Tuesday.
Monday. Okay.
Monday or Wednesday I can do it, but not Tuesday.
My Monday is filled up, but I could do Wednesday anytime other than, actually I could do anytime Wednesday. But our office closes at 4 that day, and you guys are you guys are 2 hours ahead of me. I'm on Eastern time, so it's 11:47 right now for me.
We're Eastern.
Oh, you're Eastern. Oh, duh.
So we, what is the topic of training number 3?
It would be over forms.
Okay. I'm wondering if we should choose Tuesday and then record. And Jeff, if you, because you want